Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Poetically Christian Gamer. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. My name is Derek. I am a legally blind gamer and preacher, and this is another edition of Should Christians Play, the series where we go between the ratings of the ESRB to answer the questions, should a Christian play? And is this game accessible for me? We review these games on two fronts, guys. Is the game physically accessible for someone low vision or blind, the deaf and hard of hearing, and the motor disabled? And is the game morally accessible for someone that is a Christian to be able to play based on the content that's in the game? This was a very special request by a very special subscriber to Poetically Christian Gamer YouTube. So thank you so much for that request, and hopefully I'm able to do this justice, guys. Before we get to that, guys, if you like these Christian accessibility reviews, physical accessibility reviews, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel on Poetically Christian Gamer YouTube. And hit that little bell icon, and you will have our videos recommended to you in your home feed. I also do Let's Plays of retro and modern games every Tuesday night, Lord willing, at 7 p.m. EST. And of course, I do occasional streams on either Mondays, Fridays, or Saturdays as well. But if you subscribe, hit the bell, you'll know when I'm live. And if you're on Poetically Christian Gamer Twitch, you can hit the follow button and get a little notification and be able to jump in those live streams with me as well, guys. I love getting to know you, and it's fun to have you join me on this journey of faith and fun to furthering the kingdom. If you like that kind of thing, guys, please, I see that most of you are not subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe, and if you want to help me further the kingdom and get godly content to others, you can hit the like button below the video. You can comment and share this out with your friends and family, and it helps me so much, and I truly appreciate it. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, guys. We are currently at 731, and it's really been an awesome journey, and couldn't do it without the Almighty and all of you. All right, with all of that out of the way, let's get into our review of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, or just for short, Expedition 33 as most know it. This game is a very interesting game, so let's jump in with the low vision and blind for the physical accessibility side of things, and then we'll get to the moral accessibility, and then I will show you guys live gameplay. All right, for the low vision and blind, this is pretty simple. We have good contrast on the menus, dark backgrounds, light writing. The text size is not as big as it kind of needs to be, but it's not the worst I've ever seen either. So kind of middle of the road. Even though this is a 2025 game, we have no menu narration. Neither do we have any navigation within the game itself. So there's no menu narration, and there's no in-game narration, nor is there any way of having any kind of navigation in the game. No audio cues, nothing like that. The game is very linear. This is a turn-based RPG. I like to think of this as being very reminiscent of Final Fantasy X, if you ever played that game back in the day for your PS2. There's not a whole lot of exploration. I mean, some, but it's not like a big open world action RPG that you're used to in the modern day. This is very linear and keeps you kind of on a linear path, although being low vision or blind, sometimes it is hard to see where you need to go and who you need to talk to, what you need to do. And then once you get into the gameplay itself, navigating the menus for your character trees, leveling up your characters, your items, equipment, things like that is so complicated. Way more complicated than it needs to be. A lot of menus, a lot of reading. So if you do have some vision, your low vision, there's going to be a lot of reading, and it's going to be very straining on your eyes. And I find this text, this font, hard to read myself. If you go down here, I'll go to the setting. I mean, I find that hard to read against that back, like navigating through the settings and try to get that set up. If you're low vision, that's difficult. If you're blind, it's going to take some sighted assistance But after that's set up, once you get into the game, being blind, it would be very difficult to kind of navigate through the menus of the character trees and all that. Not impossible. Nothing's impossible. But very, very difficult. The menus do not loop. I'll say that for it. So you can count how many ups, how many downs to get to certain things. So that's nice as far as trying to do some menu memorization if you're completely blind or even low vision. But that's all we have going. This game has very limited. I would say this game would be very difficult for someone low vision and very, very difficult for someone who is completely blind. I would not recommend this. We don't have enough here. Basically, just some contrasted menus and decent text size. That's about all we've got going for this game. Nothing else. So it's going to have to get, can't get a complete F, but I'll give it a D to D minus for low vision and blind accessibility. Just unfortunately, guys, it's sad that we're in 2025 and we still don't have menu narration as a standard in games, but that's where we are. For the deaf and hard of hearing, we do have subtitles. The complete game is subtitled, but it's just the basics. I mean, you can adjust the font size a little bit of it, but we've had much better options in games for someone deaf and hard of hearing. Gets the job done, makes it playable, but it's, could be better. So I'm going to split the difference and say middle of the road, C to C plus for the deaf and hard of hearing. Now, for the motor disabled, this game is not a very demanding game, as it is a turn-based RPG, so you do have times of rest in between what you do, things like that, to give your hands and fingers rest when they get fatigued from playing. You do have basic control, configuration, remapping, but not a lot. You do have toggles and holds, things like it gets the job done. I can't knock it there. And since the game's not a very demanding game to play, I would say it would be more approachable for someone motor disabled. So I'm going to say that this game gets a C plus to B minus for the motor disabled. Not bad. Seen better, a lot better, but not the worst I've ever seen either. It's better than average, so it splits the difference. We'll say C plus to B minus for that. All right, guys. Now, what about the moral Christian accessibility side of things? Don't worry, we're going to get to that gameplay and show you guys. This game got an ESRB rating of M for mature for blood and gore, suggestive themes, and strong language, and it definitely lives up to that. I haven't done everything in this game. This game's about a 35-hour game, so I haven't done everything in this game. But I've seen the complete story of this, and it definitely lives up to the strong language side of things, guys. I was very shocked. This game has a very classy feel. Like I said, very Final Fantasy. I keep saying that. Very Final Fantasy-esque. And about 20 minutes into the game, you're going to start hearing the F-bombs drop, and they don't stop. From that point on, you're going to hear them throughout the game, and they're most, I don't know what you want to say, unfitting, just out of place in this game. Everything seems very classy. The time period, it does not seem, the first time I heard it, it actually was very jarring to me. Because everything else is so civilized in this game, and the way they talk and interact with each other, and then they just drop an F-bomb out of nowhere. And it's for all situations, in a time of tragedy or loss, F-bomb. A time of anger, F-bomb. A time where something, is frustrating, F-bomb. It's there in all situations and all emotions. It's like the writing team did so good in telling the story, but when they tried to express emotion in the game, it's very amateurish. The only way they could express emotion in this game is to drop an F-bomb. So I don't know. But it's there. It's very prevalent. It lives up to the strong language. If that bothers you, it's in the game. It's a story-driven game. There's no way around it. And it's going to be there with you throughout the game in different parts. As far as the blood and gore, yeah, it's there in times of battle a little bit, and definitely in the cutscenes. You're going to be fighting these creatures called the Nevron, the Axon. There is magic in this game, so if you're bothered by that as a Christian, that element is in it. Again, not avoidable. The violence is there for the blood and gore, fighting these creatures and different things and people and things. So again, story-driven game, no way of avoiding it. It's there. I'll give the backstory of this. Spoiler alert, I may give some of the story line away. If you don't want to know any of the story, click off the video at this point. The reason this game is called Expedition 33 is there is kind of a plague, I would say, or I don't know how you would describe it, a situation going on where a goddess-type character named the Paintress has painted the number 33 into the world, and so that deems that anyone that lives after the year of their age, 33, after you hit the age 34, you blink out of existence. Can anyone say Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, guys? Where's Thanos? But yeah, so we have this party that you're going to go with, and they are in the 33rd year of their life, other than one character who's younger. And they are on a journey to stop the Paintress and to try to find a way of stopping this doomsday scenario of them turning 34 and blinking out of existence. That's the whole reason it's called the Expedition 33. So it's very interesting. This game is very melancholy. There is very little happiness in this game, very little levity. It's this overwhelming, overdramatic, melancholy, tragic type game where everyone is constantly under the threat of their life coming to an end, and there's no hope, and there's no way out of this, and times of despair, very, very much. Like I said, you might be bothered by the Paintress, this person that has the ability to, control people's life and death and paint things in and out of existence. If you take the god away from that, I didn't take it that way myself. I kind of took it as just a fictitious character and a fictitious game, and a means to an end for a plot line within it. There is no blasphemy in this game. I was pleasantly surprised by that. There is no taking the Lord's name in vain in this game, which I was pleasantly surprised with. So that part is very good. But like I said, that blood and gore, that violence, being in the battles and the F-bombs especially, are going to drag this game down for the moral accessibility and approachability for someone to play. I would say if you're not bothered by the violence and things, the language would probably get to you. It got to me, and I would not recommend this game myself for that. It really, gets to you after a while, and it's so prevalent, so spiced up, and especially when it gets going in certain parts, it gets going. I mean, it's multiple times. So it's there. It's unavoidable. The violence is there, unavoidable, as I said. This game is very reminiscent of Final Fantasy X. The best game I could compare it to is in that game you fought sin, and everything seemed very hopeless at times. But that game had a lot more levity and a lot more, lightened moods. This does not. This game has very, very few moments of levity or hope. But as you play this game as a Christian, a takeaway I took away from playing through it, you'll have your own, is mortality. The older you get and things you start reflecting on your life, the morality of your life, the mortality of your life, where you are, where you stand. Are you serving something greater than yourself? Where does your soul stand? What kind of mark have you left behind in this life, and where are you going in the life to come? Which are all questions that are posed in this game and people reflect on and talk about. Made me think of James and God's word. For what are we? We're nothing more than vapor that appears for a little while and then we vanish away. The brevity of life, where you are, not taking for granted that there might not be a tomorrow, but making today count. and living for something greater, not only in this life, but in the life to come, guys. So that was kind of my takeaway on this game. So it does have a Christian takeaway, in my opinion, but it's there. Like I said, the violence is there. The F-bombs are definitely there. Magic is there. Blood and gore is there. So that's what's in the game. It's unavoidable. Use your own discernment and judgment on whether you want to play this game or not. Now I'm gonna do some gameplay. We're gonna show you guys what this game looks like, feels like, sounds like, whether it be something you'd want to play or not. And I'm gonna turn up the volume so you can hear it a little better, and then we'll get going, guys. All right, here we go, guys. I'll lay out so you can hear the story.
Do it before they wither and die.
What, the flower? Or Sophie?
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve. Hey, you said it, not me. The others are waiting for you. You're supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you could hit the paintress directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful. I'm enjoying the uselessness of today and readying my usefulness for tomorrow. And soon, I'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
That's what all the other expeditions said.
Hey, you know they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right?
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
You still got a flower to give, no?
Yes. Just... I'm not sure how to start. After 4 years apart, what do I say to her on the day of her gamache?
You're asking me. I don't know. Sun's about to set, so be direct. Hey, Soph, been a while. Could we...
Alright guys, I'll show you what this looks like in play here. This is going to be a longer review, so I wanted to be able to show you guys gameplay as well as the review. But it's kind of a complicated game. Alright, here we go, guys. You can kind of run. You have to turn with the left, or run with the left stick, turn with the right stick to kind of navigate through the environment.
Come on. You're not going to forget your flower here, are you? You're not going to make a big impression on Sophie if you forget your flower.
Alright, we need a flower.
Come on. You're not going to forget...
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. Okay. You can run by holding the right trigger. You can jump with A in this game. But it's very linear. You're kind of on rails.
I'll accompany you there. Are you ready to see her again?
Yeah. Been ready.
Alright. Okay, it's been a while since I played this area. But you're very much on rails with this game. There's not a lot of places you can go out of bounds, so to speak. Making sure I didn't forget nothing.
I set up these grapple shortcuts. Nice, huh? Don't tell your sister, though. I sort of borrowed the hooks from the Expedition Academy. Come on, Gustav, speed up a bit. Sophie will have already gamaged by the time you've arrived.
My head.
Okay, gamage means when they blink out of existence, guys. That's the slang for them no longer existing. Okay. Not the garage or garbage, but gamage.
I can't believe Sophie already turned 33. She looks so much younger than you.
Thanks.
She's popular. I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
I can imagine.
See, this would be very difficult if you don't have some vision to play. As it's hard even with some vision to figure out where you need to go sometimes.
What?
You look tense.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what you need. A little jewel.
No.
Come on, it'll loosen you up. You can't go and see Sophie all somber and tense. And if you win, I'll give you something you can use with your Lumina converter.
All right, you're on.
Yes!
Let's fight it out. Alright. As you can see, these menus are not narrated, as I said. And they could definitely be better. Okay. You can block their attacks and avoid them. Very Final Fantasy-esque. Gotta go over here. Oh.
For those who come after.
Oh, guys.
You won. Now, don't you feel better? I see your smile. All right, now, let's go find Sophie.
Always makes us smile to beat up our friends, guys.
Saw her near the red and white tree.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't want to give away too much more of the storyline, guys, but I just wanted to kind of show you what you were in for here. Basic turn-based stuff, navigation through the environment, you know,
Plaza is
typical...
lively. Why people like to celebrate the gommage is still a mystery to me, but oh well.
Very, very reminiscent of Final Fantasy, in my opinion, guys, but very melancholy. This game is. From not much very further into the game, you're gonna get dark and stay dark in this game. So, all right, I hope this has helped you decide whether you want to play this game or not. For the physical accessibility side of things, low vision blind, very little to help you. If you have some vision, you would be able to play this, but it's going to require a lot of reading and maybe some sighted assistance. If you're completely blind, I would find this game to be very difficult, if not very, very difficult to play this game. You're definitely going to need some sighted assistance to get through it and navigate through it. Overall, I would have to give the game a D. Just the only thing that saves it is the text size isn't bad, and the contrast, usually the dark backgrounds with the light writing, is helpful. D overall. For the deaf and hard of hearing, we do have basic subtitles, as you guys saw, but nothing overly fancy, gets the job done, C to C+. And for the motor disabled, this isn't a very physically demanding game as far as motor skills. You get times of rest. There is a little bit of configuration options, so gets the job done again, C, C+, maybe even B-. And for the moral Christian accessibility, we do have the blood and gore in this game, which is not avoidable. You are going to be fighting creatures, the Nevron, Axon. We do have things of magic. We have F-bombs that are going to be dropping here and dropping without stopping. So that's definitely going to drag the game down for approachability. You have the Paintress, this goddess-like character that's painting things in and out of existence. So if that's bothersome to you and you take that away as, you know, troubling, then it's in the game. Magic's in the game. Like I said, that's there and unavoidable, as well as this game is a complete story-driven game. If those things do not bother you, the language probably will be the thing that would bother you most, as far as not being able to get around it, and the blood and gore, the violence. Game's definitely not for the young. Definitely not, and I would have a hard time recommending this game just from my Christian point of view. It's a good game, unfortunately. Good music, good story. Not entirely impossible to play, as there is no blasphemy and there is no taking the Lord's name in vain, which two big pluses, especially for Christian approachability. But that language is definitely going to be the hold you back moment, for at least it was for me. The violence I was able to get around myself and the other things, but the language is there and it's hard to ignore. Overall, guys, I hope this has helped you. I give the game a D for Christian approachability. Not a complete F, but definitely not the best thing when you got multiple F-bombs. So D, I think, is a fair grade for moral Christian accessibility. I hope this has helped you guys. This has been another edition of Should Christians Play. Thank you so much. I don't know if you want your complete name to be said, but I'll just say Jones. Thank you, Jones, for your recommendation of this review, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's helped you. This has been another edition of Should Christians Play, the series where we go between the ratings of the ESRB to answer the question, should a Christian play? And is this game accessible for me? Remember, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel on Poetically Christian Gamer. Hit the bell icon. Our videos will be recommended to you. Dropping likes, commenting, and sharing helps us further the kingdom and get godly content to others. We do this kind of thing all the time. Retro, modern game playthroughs, Bible sermons, Christian reviews, and so much more, guys. And if you're watching on Poetically Christian Gamer Twitch, hit the follow button. And you can join me when I'm live as well over there. I love you. God loves you. And until the next one, guys, blessed wishes.